Okay, so I just want to give, in fact, look at that, I left the lights on. I just want to give everybody a clear understanding on what this vehicle looks like. It really is a good car. I've had a lot of people saying, oh man, that thing's a junker, $300. And, and it bothers me because it really is a good car. And those are just curbers who are just trying to get this thing for cheap. Honestly, I'm negotiable on the price. I need it gone. Not because I want it gone, but because I need it gone. I really like this car a lot, and you can see, I mean, it has its flaws. It really does. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. This is the thing. This is the thing everybody has the issue with, and I understand that. This looks pretty bad. It really does look bad. Fixable, yeah, sure, totally. Just get a stud gun, pop it out, sand it down, fill it, give it some spot putty, sand it back down, prime it, paint it, clear it, polish it, wax it. That's it. That's all you have to do. But anyway, no, I mean it really is. It's annoying, and a lot of people really seem to be bothered. This is really the worst of it here, and the price, I think, reflects it, because it's a great car. A lot of people use it as a beater with air conditioning, I mean, because it's summer, beater with a heater. But as soon as you climb this thing, even though it's not running right now, as soon as you climb in it, it's cool in there, and then, you start it up, and the AC is ice cold. The guy I bought it from said it didn't work. It totally works. Totally 100% works. Anyway, this dent, I gotta skip over that. It has this dent. Don't come see it and expecting it, to be not, expect it to be not quite that bad. I'm giving you a good angle of it here. This is the worst angle of it, but I mean, it's really not that bad, Now, if you come over to this side, I think that actually looks pretty sharp. I really have always liked these white Crown Victorias. They have 93 white Crown Victorias with these, I don't know what it is. It's just super shiny and nice. I really like it. I washed this thing yesterday. It's sitting in kind of a dusty area, so I tried to get all the dust off of it. This dog leg, barely starting to rust. And you can see, I mean, I'm sure it's actually relatively, I mean, it's not significant, but these dog legs on the passenger side, they always rust, not on the driver's side. I don't know why. There's also this dent right down here on the door. And then this is the worst fender here. Missing the badge again, like I said. It's actually missing the badges, which I have them both. Crown Victoria badges that are supposed to go there. I took them off because I thought I was replacing the fenders. But no, you could totally throw those back on. Now, there's pretty much a hole right there. I don't know what else to call it. This fender really is pretty bad. There's even a dent there. So if you replace the fenders on this thing, it would actually look pretty good. I think it would look good, and I'm saying good, not like, I think it would make it look better. I'm thinking it would actually make it look good. And now, I mean, if you look at this here, that gash, someone tried to fill it in with some paint. It has its flaws, it really does. The guy I bought it from, he was just driving it around, didn't seem to care, but he bought it from a guy who bought it from an old lady, apparently. That's the story. But anyway, climbing inside, the inside is pretty much immaculate. I mean, I don't want to say immaculate. The inside's in very good shape. I mean, the seats are still super comfortable. My back never gets tired driving one of these things around. Here, this looks pretty unsightly, actually. Steering wheel's a little worse for the wear. The last guy put tape on it. I really don't like that. You could reupholster it. It's not as expensive as you'd think if you really wanted it, but the mileage is one of the really good things about this car. It only has 189, which is nice. I mean, most of these things are well over 289 by now, and it's got 189, which is nice. So it's got tons of life left. New lights down there in the floor area, new dome light, door panel lights all work. I replaced the horn, so the horn works properly. These wires here, all of this stuff will be removed prior to the sale. It's Sirius XM, and I gotta keep that. I mean, I paid too much for that. I gotta keep that. But yeah, so all of this stuff, I'll pull all of that out prior to the sale. Let's go ahead and fire it up, though. I'm gonna stop wasting time. And let's see here. Key in the ignition. Starts every time with no issues. Let's shut this door here. Radio. Oops. Radio works. Works perfectly. Now, here's an issue also. Has a check engine light on. If you do the OBD1 codes on this thing, it pulls up several different ones. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but basically it says oxygen sensor and dirty EGR valve. Or no, it says idle too low to read EGR valve. This thing doesn't have an IAC sensor. If you know anything about cars, idle air control valve. IAC valve, sorry. It doesn't have one of those for some reason. Other 4.6 it did, but this one doesn't. So anyway, check engine light. I think he could clean the EGR valve, maybe throw an oxygen sensor in it, and it would be fine. But throw it in reverse, goes right into gear, super easy. Throw it into drive, goes forward. Here's another issue, I guess. It doesn't have a ton of gas in it, but you know what? Before the sale, I'll throw in maybe 15 liters into it just so you can get it somewhere. You know, no charge. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop the trunk, and I'll even pop the fuel tank just to show you that still works. Yeah, AC again, still ice cold. Heat works well, although it comes with an extra thermostat because it's a little slow in the winter time. But anyway, yeah, this fuel door works just fine. It takes a little extra oomph to close it because of the dent, but that's okay. And then in here, as a separate taillight, I threw this one on because this one was actually replaced by the Ford dealer. So, I mean, that one is in perfect shape. But you know what? I'll throw the old one in for you just because, you know, hey, it's here. But you can see it's got some white overspray on it from someone trying to touch it up. Now, the story with these rims here, I took them when they were sold. These tires are done, unfortunately. These are dry rotted and the tread is just shot. I have the fourth one. This is the spare. But, you know, I mean, these tires are ruined. But, you know, still, they're going with the car. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to actually keep these rims, but I don't know what I'd put them on. So, hey, I'm going to take this, though. Anyway. That is the trunk. Other than that, I'll show you the engine bay here. So if you go in here and pop the hood. Now these door panels, if you know anything about Crown Vics, they fall apart. That's just with every single one. And this one is cracked. I don't shut it using the pull handle. I shut it from up here or from here or something because I don't want the door panels to crack apart. Most people don't know that, but you know, if you own an Aerogen Crown Vic, you know. So here's the engine bay. This screams to me well maintained. Motorcraft battery. I mean, you're putting Ford batteries in the Ford, you know, I mean, that's pretty amazing. It has great power steering fluid. I'll show you every single fluid. Full on power steering fluid. Doesn't smell burnt. It's all good. Don't let anyone tell you it's bad. Brake fluid could probably use replacing. Quite frankly, it's a little thin. You know, I gotta mention also front rotors. Things that are wrong with this car. Front rotors. I mentioned the EGR valve. The front rotors are warped. So if you're going down the highway at 110 kilometers and you start riding the brakes, it's gonna shimmy a little bit in the steering wheel, and it's gonna kind of shake just a tiny bit, and that's because the front rotors are warped. If your brake pedal moves in and out, that's the back rotors, although this one just the front. So if you replace the rotors and pads online, you can get rotors and pads for the front. For I think it was $146. So I can send you the link. They're good parts, and it's a trusted site. It's not some weird site. But I'll show you the oil here. I mean, I'll show you under the engine oil cap. You've got no froth, no condensation, nothing like that. You look inside, Nice and clean metal, nothing suspicious. Let's go ahead and get this cap back on. And then, if we look with this dipstick here, it's a little hard to do one-handed. It's a brand new, fresh, beautiful oil change. Yes, I did it myself. Don't be scared. Yeah, I changed the oil, so it's got 0 kilometers on a brand new oil change. It needed one pretty bad, so I changed it. And you know that's it needed to be done, so I did it. I don't think it's up to operating temperature, so I'm gonna open this up here. This thing, God, I always forget the name of this thing. It's not the evaporator. It's not the condenser. Yeah, you guys will know what this thing is called. Not the evaporator, not the condenser. Just can't remember. Anyway, it isn't ruined. It isn't cracked. It's still working just fine. If you know your Crown Vics, those things can fail, but this one hasn't. Okay, so the engine was too hot. But anyway, it's got good coolant, as you'll find. Sorry about that. Yeah, too hot to open. But anyway, other than that, I don't think there's much else to show you. It's not leaking anything around the valve covers. No sweating. I mean, just a little dirty, but no sweating or anything like that. Yeah, no, everything's good under here. Now that it says. Right here, it even says contents under pressure, remove slowly, and you can't do that. So I hope you know that's not an issue. That happens with every single car. Go try that on your car after a long drive. No, seriously, don't do that. Anyway, let's take a look down here. Just show you bumpers on these things always crack, and this one hasn't, which is a miracle. There's the horns up there that I replaced. Now if you look down here, oil pan, that right there in the center of your screen, that kind of rusty slab, that is all dry. There's no leaks, nothing. If you look over underneath the whole engine, there's just no leaks whatsoever. Now if you go over here, I'll show you the transmission too. No, oh, that's the cat. No leaks around the transmission pan. You can see it's all fresh. Up front there, it's a little kind of sweaty. That's not a rear main seal. It's not leaking anything, so no worries there. I've had this parked. It's not leaking any drops of anything. Also, what is it? These tires here, they're pretty good. On the front, they're fine, but on the back, they're okay. No one's done any burnouts or anything. They look pretty good, as you can see there. I don't remember if I mentioned it, so I'm gonna mention it again. Header panel here, cracked. Someone must have tapped something like in the front here, and these bumpers just give way. They're just thin plastic, fiberglass. But this here is cracked, as is the grill. It's pretty wiggly, and you can see this piece here will fall out if you mess with it. See, so I can glue that back in. Now I actually have a header panel. I'll put that back in a minute. I actually have a header panel for this thing, but it's green, actually the same color as that mirror. And this mirror is off the same car. It's green. It looks ridiculous, but quite frankly, the other one, the white was missing, and it was kicking in and out. So I just I replaced it so the power mirror would work and it would fit properly. So yeah, it looks ridiculous, but I just wanted to wait for a white one. It's got different colored, well, they're not eyes, but different colored ears. I don't know. Anyway, this bumper here is also cracked. The guy said the whole thing was caved in, and he tried to pop it out, and then it ripped, unfortunately. So that looks pretty bad. These headlights are yellow. By the time you see this thing, they might be crystal clear. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to restore them or not. Just, sand them down with like 5,000 grit and, work your way up. And then I clear coat them with UV resistant clear coat, make them look brand new. I might do that. I'll show you a back seat here. Nice, no odors in this interior whatsoever. No odors, no smoking. The guy who owned it before me smoked, but I don't think he smoked in this thing because it doesn't smell like smoke. Doesn't it just kind of smells like car in here. Like, that's about it. If you look in here, get nothing. Same with the other one. I mean, the seats are in good shape. Little marks here and there, but you know, they're in good shape. Door panels back here, perfect. Window regulator here is bad. So if you go to roll this one down, well, don't do that. If you come to see this car, this window and that window are lubricated. They work. They haven't gone bad. This one, though, if you roll it down, it'll go down about this far and then won't go back up. So you kind of have to really push it back up. So anyway, if you know your Crown Vics, window regulators, 100% failure rate, gonna happen. Anyway, you'll see a plate on it. By the time you see this, it's not going to be registered or insured. So if you want to test drive it, you can go up the alley. If I get what I do usually is, like, if someone wants to come see a car, I just I say, if I grab picture or license or something like that, then they can just take it as far as they want, as far as they're willing to risk. But you know, if it's not insured like that, because in this case it won't be, that's what I've done in the past. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the entire thing. If you are interested in the car, give me a call on my cell phone, 403-585-5515. That is my cell. You can text me there also, but seriously, folks, I prefer calls because I answer the phone. If I see it ringing, I'm going to answer it. That's why I answer so many scam calls, because I answer pretty much every phone call I get. And that way it's easy. I get in touch with you and it's like, hey, how you doing? And instantly. Whereas text, it can take me a while to see that I have a text. And anyway, long story short, leave me a message if I don't answer, which is rare. I'll pretty much 100% of the time I'll answer. And I'm asking right now, actually, I'm not sure what I'm asking, but I'm not sure if I'll be negotiable or not, depending on the price I'm asking. Honestly, I'm not going to go really anything below $1,000 on this car. You know, it's $1,000 car all day long, for sure. Just come see it. I'm not one of those people who's going to say firm, because that drives me crazy. So you just come see it. We'll go from there. That's what I like to do. Individualized basis. Anyway, I am gonna get out of here. Let me know if you want to come see it. Pretty much anytime works. We'll get in touch. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest.